They'll never find you, not the old you. That was the first line scribbled on a weathered page tucked inside a hollow brick wall beneath an abandoned asylum in Vermont. No author. No signature. Just that sentence, and a map that doesn't exist on Google Earth. Your face. You're not a person to the system. You're a pattern, a product. But there are whispers still of those who vanished completely. Men and women who rewrote their identity, deleted their digital ghosts, and became untouchable. School, society, social media. They gave you a name and told you that was you. They gave you fears and told you they were yours. They assigned you limits, labels, and locked your spirit in algorithms. You become invisible not by hiding, but by blending. You fade into noise, walk like a ghost in a crowd of ghosts. Every online account altered or deleted. Every digital footprint erased or redirected. You strip yourself of identifiers like tattoos, speech patterns, geotags, subscription histories. Your energy is no longer leaking into cheap validation or digital breadcrumbs. Good, let it rot. There's no applause on this road. Only silence and power. You are becoming rare, and rare is dangerous. You turn down the brightness of your presence until the system no longer detects a signal worth tracking. Right now, someone is watching you. Your data, your habits. You were never supposed to know this. The art of disappearance is older than surveillance. From desert mystics to Cold War spies, the most powerful transformation begins with subtraction, not addition. Don't trust yourself, but true transformation begins when you stop flinching. When you look authority in the eye and smile like you know something it doesn't. You don't become something else by stacking layers. You become it by vanishing what no longer serves you, even if that means vanishing yourself. First, understand this. Identity is a prison made of mirrors. But what if you could burn that script? What if you could walk away from everything they think you are and build something feral, powerful, and free? The first phase is dismantling visibility. The second phase is unlearning compliance. Society teaches obedience in small doses. Don't speak too loud. Don't question authority. By now, you're not just disappearing, you're mutating. The old version of you, the predictable one, is dissolving. If you're still watching, it means the old identity is already crumbling. But remember, the path you're stepping on is irreversible. You won't vanish by running. You vanish by becoming someone no one's looking for. This world is addicted to recognition. People scream into the void, hoping for likes, followers, fame. But the more they seek to be seen, the more they become slaves to the image they've created. The truly powerful walk away from the mirror and build shadows instead. You want to disappear? Then disappear from expectation. The expectations of your family, your friends, your past, even your former self. You don't owe anyone continuity. Be realistic. Know your place. These aren't truths, they're tranquilizers. Break the loop. Start by asking questions you were taught never to ask. A snake doesn't apologize when it sheds its skin. It just becomes more dangerous. Phase 3, recode your mind. They trained you to think in loops: fear, doubt, comfort, fear again. But what if I told you your thoughts aren't even yours? Every headline, every slogan, every ad. It's a needle, injecting beliefs that make you easier to manage. Play it safe. Who profits from my obedience? What system am I unconsciously maintaining? Who would I become if I owed nothing to the past? This is where the transformation sharpens. You don't just unplug, you re-engineer your habits, your language. Let go of that drawer full of things that mean nothing. The clothes you wear to be approved. The routines that make you feel safe but stagnant. Your posture. Every single input you consume. Books instead of reels. Solitude instead of noise. You let go of the parasite culture of always needing more, and you rebuild with intention. The system you were born into is designed for your freedom. It is designed for your loyalty. Look at your space. Is it built by you or by your past? If it still carries traces of the old identity, it's time to burn it. Not literally, symbolically. Recreate everything. Now, if you've come this far, I need you to mark this moment. Write this in the comments twice. I have erased my name. I have become the signal. Do it. Seal the transformation in the algorithm and in your own subconscious. Because from here, we go deeper. You were born into a game. A game with rules written by men you'll never meet. They taught you how to play, but not how to quit. Quitting isn't weakness. Quitting is redesign. In the next phase, you won't just disappear from their system. You'll build your own. And when you do, you'll realize why the legends never needed permission. You've begun to erase yourself from the script they wrote for you. Now it's time to write your own. But before that, know this. When you start vanishing from their system, they panic. Not visibly, not loudly, but silently, in algorithms, in credit scores, in social metrics. You're no longer predictable. And that makes you dangerous. You're stepping off the conveyor belt and into the wild. So here's what you do next. You create a new identity, but not a mask and armor. This is not about faking a name or fleeing the grid. That's child's play. This is deeper. This is the spiritual act of self-forging. Start with your appearance. The way you move, the way you speak, how you walk into a room and control it without needing permission. Change your tone. Speak less, but with gravity. Make people lean in to hear you. That's power. Now shift your habits. Wake before the sun does. Read things no one else reads. Work in silence. Train in darkness. Discipline becomes your sanctuary, not punishment. You're no longer driven by dopamine. You're sculpted by purpose. When they scroll, you build. When they gossip, you vanish. When they panic, you plan. Now comes the most terrifying and liberating step. Cut ties. Not in cruelty, in clarity. There are people you love, but they are tethering you to a version of yourself that no longer exists. The old self was addicted to approval, to fitting in, to being liked. The new self is addicted to freedom. And freedom has a cost. Solitude. You will be misunderstood. You will be mocked. You will be alone. But solitude is not absence, it's presence with yourself. And from that stillness, power emerges. Most men never experience that power because they're afraid to meet themselves. Face their lies, burn their illusions. But not you, you've already begun. And once you cross the threshold, there's no returning. You don't go back to small talk. You don't go back to fake smiles. You don't go back to begging for scraps of validation. You build systems, you form networks, you establish leverage. And while the world tries to find itself in filters and distractions, you will walk the earth like a ghost with a mission. Not invisible to all, just invisible to the enslaved. They will feel your presence, but not see your shadow. They will sense your rise, but not trace your path. You have now become what they fear most. A man or woman untraceable by the system. You disappeared, but now you return, not as who you were, but as a weapon sharpened in silence. And now, the world must meet you again, as a stranger. Because this final act isn't just escape, it's ascent. You are no longer escaping the system. You are rewriting your role within it. You walk among them, but your eyes see differently now. You no longer seek approval. You observe. You no longer consume noise. You extract information. You no longer exist in their digital web. You build your own. This is the difference between those who vanish and those who re-emerge as sovereigns. You become unguessable. Your money doesn't live where their algorithms track. Your movements don't feed the machine. Your habits aren't monetized. You are value, not a product. You build multiple sources of income. 1 visible, 3 invisible. You learn leverage, power, exit strategies. And now, the final secret. You don't return to seek revenge or attention. You return as a mirror, Because when people see you now, they see what they could have been if they'd had the courage to burn their mask. You become a silent invitation to transformation. And to the weak, a threat. That's why I asked you earlier, comment the phrase "I walk unseen" twice, because now it's not just a phrase. It's a symbol, a code, a line in the sand. You've crossed it. You can't go back. And why would you? The old world was a cage. This new one is a forge. Forge your life with cold fire. Forge your mind with resistance. Forge your path with patience. Because now they don't control your story. You do. You are no longer known. You are felt. No one claps for shadows, but shadows command rooms. So if you've listened this far, you already know. This video wasn't about vanishing. It was about becoming ungovernable. You don't need escape. You need awakening. They taught you to disappear out of fear. I taught you to disappear out of power. You are now a ghost. With a heartbeat louder than drums. They will search. They will wonder. They will never find you. But they will feel what you've become. And when they finally whisper, "Where did he go? Where did she go?" The real answer is simple. You didn't go anywhere. You just stopped playing their game.